When did the world begin? Have you ever looked up into the night sky and wondered how it all started? How did we get here? What was there before the beginning of time? And is there even a beginning to time? All of these are great questions that have plagued mankind since we first looked up into the night sky and saw the stars for the first time. These questions led some of the brightest minds throughout history to come up with the most spectacular theories and ideas. But what's the truth? For thousands of years, people across the world had no idea how old our planet actually was. And so they created myths and legends about the creation of the world. In ancient Greece, the Titan Prometheus was blamed for the death of his brother Epimetheus after he stole fire from the gods and gave it to the humans. As punishment, Zeus chained him to a rock where an eagle would eat his liver every day, only to regrow it overnight so the eagle could eat it again the next day. In Norse legend, Ymir was the first giant and everything that existed before the beginning of time. He lived in a void with nothing else around him until one day he began to sweat, and from his sweat came the first gods, the first humans, and the earth itself. And in the Christian faith, the world was created by God in 7 days. On the first day, God created light and separated it from darkness. Then he created the sky, the sea, and dry land. On the third day, God made plants, including fruit trees and a special tree called the tree of life. Then he made the sun, the moon, and the stars to mark the passing of time. Finally, God created Adam, the first man, and put him in the Garden of Eden to take care of it. He then created Eve, Adam's wife, from one of Adam's ribs. They lived happily in the garden until they were tempted by a serpent to eat fruit from the tree of knowledge. This act of disobedience caused them to be cast out of the garden, and humanity's dominion over the earth came to an end. Obviously, there's a lot more to each story than can be explained in just a few sentences. But the important thing to remember is that these are just stories that were used to explain the world around us when science was not advanced enough to answer these questions. Today we know that the world wasn't created in 7 days or by a god or a giant who was sweating. So where did it all start? You might have learned in school that our solar system formed when a large cloud of gas and dust collapsed and began to spin. As it spun, gravity pulled the material inward, forming a disk shape. The material continued to collapse until it became so dense that nuclear fusion began in its core and our sun was born. Any leftover material that did not get pulled into the sun formed the planets and other objects in the solar system. But where did that initial cloud of gas and dust come from? If we go back far enough, will we find the beginning of the world? In 1948, an American astronomer named Fred Hoyle coined the term Big Bang to describe the prevailing theory of the universe. According to this theory, the universe began as a single point containing all matter and energy, incredibly hot and incredibly dense. Then it exploded and began expanding. All of the matter and energy spread outward, eventually cooling and coming together to form the galaxies, stars, and planets that we see today. Scientists believe that this expansion of the universe is still happening today, but it's so slow that we can't feel it. But what happened before the Big Bang? Some scientists say that time itself began with the Big Bang, and so there was nothing before it. Others believe that the universe went through several expansions like this before we began to exist, and that each time it expanded, it would eventually collapse in on itself. When the universe collapses in on itself, everything would be pulled together into a single point once again, creating a singularity. Then the Big Bang would happen again, restarting the universe. This is often referred to as the oscillating model of the universe. So what do we really know about the beginning of the world? Well, what we do know is that our universe is expanding. We know that galaxies are moving away from us, and that the farther away they are, the faster they're moving. We also know that the universe is very hot, around 2.7 Kelvin, or about 270 degrees Celsius. We know that because the cosmic microwave background radiation fills the entire sky. It's essentially a snapshot of what the universe looked like when it was only 380,000 years old. All of this evidence points to the fact that our universe did indeed begin with the Big Bang, but it doesn't tell us what happened before that, or if there was even a before. Some scientists believe that there was a time before the Big Bang and that someday we'll discover evidence that will prove it. Others believe that the Big Bang was the beginning of everything and that time itself began at that moment. Which one is right? Unfortunately, we don't know. Physicists have spent decades trying to find a way to describe the beginning of the universe without using the concept of time. Since the Big Bang, they haven't been able to come up with anything. There are a few theories that attempt to explain the universe without the need for time, but none of them are widely accepted. One of these theories is called loop quantum cosmology, which proposes that space and time are both quantized. This means that they can only exist in discrete chunks. In this theory, the Big Bang would simply be the moment when these chunks of space and time came together. Another theory is called causal set theory, which proposes that the universe began as a single event and that everything that exists now can be traced back to that event. But what if we could go back before the Big Bang? Would we see a different universe, or would we see nothing at all? This is impossible to say for sure, but it makes you wonder what you would see if you could somehow travel back in time. You would witness the birth of our universe and all of the matter and energy that exists in it. You would see the formation of the first atoms and molecules, the first stars and galaxies. You would see the birth of our solar system and the formation of our planet. You would see the first life forms on Earth, the first civilizations, the rise and fall of empires, the birth of Jesus Christ, the death of John Lennon, the Challenger explosion, the fall of the Berlin Wall, and the first human landing on the moon. You would see everything that has ever happened, is happening, and will happen up until the heat death of the universe. What would you do if you could travel back in time? Would you change anything? Let us know in the comments below. As for me, I wouldn't change a thing. That's because I'm the host of this channel, and my job is to bring you educational videos about space and science. And if I didn't do my job, then this video wouldn't exist, and you wouldn't be here watching it. And if you weren't here watching this video, then you wouldn't be here watching this video. And if you weren't here watching this video, then I wouldn't be here making this video. And if I wasn't here making this video, then this video wouldn't exist, and you wouldn't be here watching it. Did you know that we've released 2 original documentaries, The Mystery of the Roman Medallion and The Secret of the Inca Pendant? You can watch them right now on a free trial. You can also watch our series What If and Space Mysteries and our new series Lost Worlds. And if you sign up at the link in the description, you won't get any ads.